So I ordered my Porsche and everything, it feels great. So I think, so where I'm leading with the question is, where is the tipping point between after we spoke last time?
You might want to bring these people up to date. Or you might want to just start where you are.
Okay, so I ordered my Porsche. It's coming in August or September. I feel really good about it. There's some stuff around it I want to understand more because I ordered it and it felt like I don't even have to have the Porsche. It was like, it's been fun playing with it. It's been fun thinking about the color and changing my mind and, oh no, what if I don't get it? And going through the emotional journey on all of that. And as I was doing it, it was, of course, hell yes, I want the Porsche. And at the same time, it was like, wow, this is what's going on, because it doesn't matter if I get the Porsche.
Well, when it doesn't matter, when it feels like the next logical step, then you're right upon it and many things like it. Sometimes something like that is representative of something, and what it represents matters more than what it really is. In other words, it represents being able to do something that I really want to do.
Yeah.
It represents doing something even frivolous or over the top, something unnecessary,
Something that I don't need.
for no other reason than that I want it. Because what's stuck in your vibrational craw still, in the same way that we've just talked about stuff that was stuck in Esther's vibrational craw, is a feeling. Unworthiness is too strong of a word, although it's at the root of what bothers most people. It is this feeling that if I allow it, I have to find a strong way of justifying all the good that I let come to me. And most of you can only go so far in that. And the reason that you get so tied up in this, and we've talked about this already today, but it's so worth talking about, is that you care more about people's response to you than you do about how you feel. And so you're testing all the time. And it's interesting, something like a Porsche, getting a beautiful car that is outrageously and unnecessarily beautiful. Nothing is unnecessarily beautiful. We're just playing your role a little bit there. Something about that, that's going to evoke a whole lot of stuff from a whole lot of people, because someone already tuned in, tapped in, turned on, someone who knows that all things are possible, someone who's always already living a very good life would see you in your Porsche or hear about you getting your Porsche and would feel utterly at one with the idea of it. And they would look at you and they would say, but of course you certainly deserve it. Someone who is having a hard time making ends meet, someone who can't afford the much lesser vehicle that they're already driving, someone who is having a hard time maybe even putting food on the table, might see you driving your Porsche, and they would say, there are far more important things that people should do with money than gratifying themselves with things like that. And so it turns out that you can't even begin to please all of them. You can't even begin to please half of them. You can hardly please any of them. And an effort at trying to please them is really what we're trying to wean you all away from. We want you to consider only one thing, and that's the difference between where you are as the evolved, expanded Porsche driving person that you are, and where you are in terms of your attitude relative to abundance now. And closing that gap is all that matters. Now, you said something to us that we find interesting. You said, I really don't even care if I get the Porsche at all. So we want to demonstrate something to you. We think you're right, and we think you should cancel the order.
Okay.
She passed the test. Well, we're only kidding about that, but usually,
in other words, I would have said that and not really meant it. Yeah.
And so if you really don't care about it,
That's what confused me. It was like, I came to this place where it's been fun And it was, I know it'll come.
Let's just see, there's nothing so illogical about what you're saying in this sense, that when something is over there in your vibrational escrow, it's over there in your vibrational escrow. So are you saying to us, I don't care about this demonstration of my alignment or my abundance? Are you saying, I know that it's there and in its perfect timing, it will reveal itself to me?
Yes. If I'm hearing the question correctly. Yes.
But we asked,
it wasn't so significant that it wasn't the symbol that was so significant. It was that I'm here, I'm allowing myself to have this thing, and that whether it's the Porsche, whether it's whatever it is it's fun in the playing of it. It's the journey was fun.
Well, the reason we ask the question is because there's something that we can feel that we think is worth sort of sorting out. And that is, sometimes when you are aware that something is in your vibrational escrow and you have made the effort to line up with it to the point that you've actually placed the order for it, and then you begin having second thoughts about it or saying, maybe I don't even want this. Often the reason that you say that is because there's still contradictory energy in it that's keeping it from being 100% pleasant. Because if it was 100% pleasant, you wouldn't be having any of this kind of conversation. You would order it, you'd pick it up, you'd drive it, you'd flaunt it, you'd enjoy it. So what's going on?
I thought about that, and what I think came to the surface was, if it's something that you don't need to have, it's a frivolous thing. And then I heard one of your recent recordings where you talked about Jerry and Esther buying another house. And I thought to myself, wow, it's not like they need another house, because of course I was attracting hearing this. And it sort of confirmed for me, it was just another step along my evolvement of saying, it's not about needing something. That's an old belief.
So in all of this time that you've been pushing through with this Porsche, you haven't been lined up with the idea of the abundance. And in other words, the idea of it has been sort of a test of your ability more than it has been an accentuation of your alignment with the idea of success and abundance. Say that again. There's something still stuck in your vibrational craw, and you just reiterated it to us here, and you're not alone in this. Almost everybody feels this to some degree. You feel like you have to justify allowing the good stuff to flow to you. Esther remembers on a hot day, men out building wooden walkways through her bushes so that she could walk on a rainy day without getting her feet muddy. And they spent weeks building these walkways through the bushes. And one day, on a particularly hot day, Esther was sitting inside in air conditioning on a sofa drinking something cool, and she looked out at these hardworking men, and she felt ashamed of herself that she was putting them through that to keep her little toes from getting muddy. It felt frivolous and irrational and selfish. And so she went into the kitchen and she got drinks of all kinds of things that she thought that they might like to drink, and she put it all on a big tray and took it out and put it on the porch and insisted that they all come and drink something cold. And she said to the leader of the crew, I am so sorry that I'm asking you to work on this hot day. And he said, ma'am, we're happy for the work. And he meant it. Esther nearly fell over. It was like two worlds crashing together. She couldn't quite find her place in it. Then she remembered a man in an audience who was so upset he builds $100,000 closets and resents every person that he builds a $100,000 closet for, because nobody should want a $100,000 closet. And we said to him, it puts food on your table. What about the people that are involved in the process? In other words, every dollar you spend puts someone to work, and everyone who's working is gaining in that way. But we don't want to have to give you a lesson on economics to help you to justify the well-being that flows to you. But it's helpful if you give yourself some of that self-talk so that you can bring yourself into alignment with abundance. This is the reason we want you to drive the Porsche. We want you to announce to the world that it's easy to prosper. And we don't want you to drive a Porsche and feel guilty while you drive it. We want you to drive a Porsche and feel exuberant while you drive it. We want you to smile and say to everyone who law of attraction brings to you. Now, law of attraction might bring those who are jealous if you've still got that going on, or attraction might bring those, yes, you do. So law of attraction might bring to you someone who is reaching for something, but we want you to be vibrationally in alignment with the well-being that you deserve, and you're not yet. Otherwise, we would not be having this conversation. The conversation we would be having is, I saw a Porsche, I ordered the Porsche, I've got the Porsche, I'm driving the Porsche, I'm flaunting the Porsche, I'm loving the Porsche, I'm in the Porsche, I love this Porsche, it's exactly what's right for me. I knew that it was for a long time, and now I have it, I'm even more sure, you see. So don't feel bad about feeling bad about not wanting to prosper in a world where a lot of people aren't prospering. That's really what's at the heart of this. It's why a lot of people, do you know that there are happy people that tone their happiness down so that unhappy people won't feel so bad? And you know what's at the heart of this? What's at the heart of this is that you are an uplifter to the core of your being. And when you get over there into that really high-flying place, the people who need your help the most don't have vibrational access to you. So you keep deliberately toning your vibration into a place that is less.
I've noticed that. Yeah.
And this is more about that than anything else. So here is our encouragement to you. Get the Porsche or don't get the Porsche. It is irrelevant. But if you get it, line up with it first. If you decide not to get it, line up with that. But don't line up with not getting the Porsche for any other reason than that you've found something more fabulous that you want more.
So, along with the Porsche then, as I work on that, it's coming in September. I'm going to get it.
And depending upon what you do between now and then, it will be really fun or really awful.
Okay. So to add to that, if the money hasn't shown up for it, it's all part of lining up more. Am I understanding correctly then?
When you line up with it completely, when you give up, you see, as long as you've got a back door,
yeah,
then you don't really go for it. So when you line up with it, in other words, you've heard us say, think about what you want and why you want it. Now, not how you're going to get it, when it's going to come, who's going to bring it, how it's going to come. So as you line up with it, the means to deliver it will line up too. We're not kidding you. We hear your beeper over there. He doesn't hear us. We hear your beeper. That's deep concentration going on there.
Very interesting.
Well, but he can feel where we're about to go with this. In the last few days, Jerry and Esther have been contemplating bringing someone along with them to assist in the large number of things that they move from place to place. They drive this bus, and behind it they tow a Yukon that is full of all this camera equipment and sound equipment and so on, because it doesn't travel well on the airlines. And the remaining of books and things like that, which means their car is always filled to the gills, and they are lugging it along behind the car. And in this process, over time, they've been launching these rockets of desire about having someone come along with them. But when they think about that, they think about the value of it, then they think about the detriment. In other words, there are reasons that they would like that, and then there are reasons that they would not like.
They're including everything.
So all of it's in their vibration, and so the universe can't show them the answer that is in their vibrational escrow that they are looking for. They can't see it even though it's apparent. So as they chew on this a little more and they amplify what they want and why they want it, they left this discussion yesterday as they were driving in. Here's where they left it. Jerry said, well, we know what it is we want and we know why we want it. Let's now leave it to the universe to deliver it, or something along that line. In other words, because every time they tried to figure it out, they could feel themselves bogging it down.